Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Officials say no one is believed to have survived after a plane and helicopter crashed in mid-air over Washington, D.C.'s Potomac River. 64 people were on the American Airlines flight and 3 on the military helicopter when the aircraft collided over Ronald Reagan National Airport.
Did you see that? 472. American 3130, go around, turn left end 250, climb maintain 3000.
Here at the moment, air traffic controllers appear to try and persuade one of the aircraft to change its course.
Did you see that? 472. American 3130, go around, turn left end 250, climb maintain 3000.
Okay, left heading 350, 3000, American 3130.
Investigators are focusing on why the helicopter was flying at that location. Earlier, US President Donald Trump also questioned why the helicopter didn't go up or down or turn.
Before 9 p.m. last night, an American Airlines regional jet carrying 60 passengers and 4 crew collided with an Army Black Hawk helicopter carrying 3 military service members over the Potomac River in Washington, D.C., while on final approach to Reagan National Airport. Both aircraft crashed instantly and were immediately submerged into the icy waters of the Potomac. Real tragedy. The massive search and rescue mission was underway throughout the night, leveraging every asset at our disposal, and I have to say the local, state, federal, military, including the United States Coast Guard in particular, they've done a phenomenal job.
Israel has delayed the release of more than 100 Palestinian prisoners after hostages were released in chaotic scenes in Gaza. 7 hostages, 2 Israelis and 5 Thais, were released in Khan Yunis earlier as hundreds of people swarmed around the Red Cross convoy. Mr. Netanyahu's office said the delay will be in place until the safe exit of our hostages is guaranteed in the next few days. Israel is demanding that mediators achieve this. 110 Palestinian prisoners were set to be freed after the return of Israeli hostages. Congolese President Felix Tshisekedi has vowed to restore government authority in the east, where Rwanda-backed M23 rebels have seized control of the city of Goma and are reportedly advancing south to take more territory. In a televised address to the nation, he said a vigorous and coordinated response against what he called terrorists was underway and criticized the international community for inaction and not doing enough in the wake of the escalating security crisis. The weeks-long offensive by the rebels has prompted warnings of a looming humanitarian crisis and growing international pressure to end the fighting. Former President Jacob Zuma's daughter, Dudzile Zuma Sambudla, has been released on a warning by the Durban Magistrates Court. Zuma Sambudla had been charged under the Protection of Constitutional Democracy Against Terrorism and Related Activities Act and incitement to commit violence relating to unrest in 2021. A controversial figure in her own right, Zuma Sambudla was accused of sharing incendiary social media posts that fueled civil unrest. And the funeral of John Prescott, the former Labour Deputy Prime Minister, has taken place at Hull Minster. Tony Blair gave a eulogy to his personal friend, praising his greatness of courage and character. Gordon Brown also spoke while Sir Keir Starmer gave a reading. Mr. Prescott was a major figure in Labour politics. A former trade union activist, he served in Mr. Blair's government for 10 years. Made particularly famous for punching a protester who threw an egg at him, he died peacefully on the 20th of November, aged 86, at his care home where he had been living with Alzheimer's. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.